What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez, back with another Prize Picks video for you for Thursday, February 2nd, 2023. We have a 7-game NBA slate on our hands. Prize Picks has added tons of plays to the board. The only team we're missing, as far as I can see, unless it's literally just changed within the last 7 seconds, is the Golden State Warriors. We're still missing some Warriors on the board. They've added some Nuggets on the board. And the reason we're waiting on Warrior news is because there is a possibility that Draymond, Steph, and Klay all sit out tonight. It is the second night of a back-to-back. So keep your eyes out for that news. If it drops that they're not playing, then you're going to see a lot of, movement on like Ty Jerome and Kuminga, if Wiggins plays, Poole, players like that. But right now, we're just waiting on that news. We'll head back on over to Prize Picks, and I have two plays for you that I really like today. I'll give you some insight as to why I like these plays, and then I have one honorable mention for you. So today's board, I know we have a lot of games, but man, a lot of these games just don't stand out to me. Also, the lines are very sharp today, so we're not going to find a lot of discrepancy and some, as much wiggle room as we're finding, before. But I do have a couple of players that I still feel very good about, whose lines I think are, maybe a little too low. Maybe. Let's start with 3 points. I'm going to head on over to Charlotte. And I really am liking 2.5 3 points made prop for Terry Rozier. We took this line against Miami back on Sunday, January 29th. And Terry Rozier hit 5 3-pointers against Miami. He played 37 minutes against Miami. He attempted 11 3-pointers, so that's like right under 50% on the game. Wasn't in foul trouble, just played a really good, clean game. This was not an outlier performance for Terry Rozier. I worry about those performances when a player exceeds their, potential or whatever. And then you would start expecting it for every other game, and it's not going to happen. But for a player like Terry Rozier, the performance he put up against Chicago is pretty typical. Miami is pretty typical. 19 shot attempts, 11 3-point attempts. That's pretty typical. He didn't play outside his role. He didn't go above and beyond. He just did what he does. He just made his shots. And today we only need him to make 3 3-pointers, and it's possible that he can do this in the first quarter, much like he did against this Chicago team the last time they played. Terry Rozier had 14 points in the first quarter. Now, he didn't score anything in the second quarter, but he ended the first half with 17 PRA. 14 points, 3 of which were 3-pointers made. So I like Terry Rozier tonight over 2.5 3-pointers made. Staying in the same game, I want to head on over to points and assists and talk about why I like Mason Plumlee over his full game points and assists. Now, I believe I mentioned in an earlier video that I also liked his first half PRA. But sneakily, Plumlee has been dishing the rock out on a consistent basis and like a lot of assists for a big man. He's averaging 4 over his last 5, 4 versus Chicago, and then 3 over his last 10. Now, 2 games versus Chicago, he had 3 in the first game, 4 in the second game. His assist prop is not available to us because I just think 2.5 is too low for him. So if they do drop it, I expect it to be around 3.5 assists for Mason Plumlee. So assists look good. Points over his last 10, 17 points. 16 over his last 5, 16 versus Chicago. So simple math shows you that he's giving you around 20 PRA over his last 10. You don't want to solely go by that. You don't want to get lost in the five game logs, and just solely base your decision on that. But this is a very, very positive game log. He plays Chicago very well. And because he's so involved in the offense for a center, to dish out 4 assists a game, that's a lot for a center. Not everyone is Nikola Jokic, Not every center has that, has that in their game. And Plumlee is doing it on a lower level, but he's still doing it. And also, one thing I like about this assist line for Plumlee, points and assists, is that the Hornets are healthy now. All their shooters are back on the court. Hayward, Ball, Rozier. They are missing Oubre, but, games with everybody available minus games without Kelly Oubre, it doesn't change anything. So I like Plumlee tonight over his points and assists. I did look at his PRA. This is we're still logging games without Oubre, so let's go ahead and reset back to all available games without Oubre. 6 out of the last 10 games, 60% hit rate, nice. But it looks like he goes yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes, then no, yes, no, yes. We need him to have a yes tonight. Big men against the Bulls, do it to him, man. Zubac, Plumlee did it to him. Turner, Capella, Jalen Duren. Yeah. Give me Plumlee over points and assists tonight, along with Rozier over his 3 points made. I did notice that the Denver Nuggets props were up on the board, and yesterday, or I keep saying yesterday, technically it was yesterday, but in my earlier video, we talked about Mr. Michael Porter Jr. over his first half points and first half PRA. Now, I like his first half PRA better because I believe I shared with you a specific stat over this yesterday. So Michael Porter Jr. Over his last 10 games, number one is averaging roughly 7 3-point attempts a game. And then over his last 5 games, he's averaging 15 minutes, 9 points, 4 boards. And then out of the last 10 games, he's giving you double-digit performances in 7 out of those 10 games. So, Michael Porter Jr., first half, points, full game points. Michael Porter Jr., all right? Giving you 16 over the last 10, 19 over the last 5. 3-point attempts. Look at this. I think I said he was giving you 6.9, roughly 7. So there's 7 over his last 10, 6 over his last 5. And he's making quite a few of them. He's making quite a few of them. Right? 3, 5, and 3, 4, 4. He's healthy. He's healthy now. If he's healthy, he's on the floor, he's dangerous. So points look good, but I like his first half. His usage in the first half is crazy. I like his points in the first half. The line is set to 7.5. I think it was at 6.5 when they played Philly, which was way too low. So it looks like they juiced this up a little bit, probably because Warriors are going to be resting those 3 superstars over there. But still like his points over 7.5. But his PRA looks real good. Missed it against New Orleans, missed it against Minnesota, and then missed it against Phoenix. But if this is the trend for him, 2 on, 1 off, 3 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off, he's about to hit 2 in a row or 3 games in a row where he goes over this. Obviously, you don't want to base your props on that, flawed logic. But it is fun to kind of look at this go up and down, and kind of try to create a pattern from this. So if the pattern holds true, then Michael Porter Jr. starts a nice little 2 or 3 game heater against the Golden State Warriors, who could be resting, and he could be facing a lot of second unit guys. So I like that a lot for Michael Porter Jr. I'll have already played that in a 5-man flex along with Rozier, Luka, Plumlee, and then Giannis. So Rozier, Mason Plumlee, Michael Porter Jr. That's not our honorable mention. That's just somebody we talked about from the earlier video. So now my honorable mention today is our thumbnail, no other than Luka Doncic. Why is it an honorable mention? Well, because his lines are set super high. I like his rebound. I like his points and assists today. And honorable mentions, are plays that I like, but I'm not gonna be rolling them out into every single slip of mine. Whereas my core will be like peppered out throughout all my slips. But you look at Luka's line, and I have the same problem. Well, I have this problem where I look at his line and I get like freaked out. It's too high. He can't do it. What if it's a blowout? Oh, what if I need him to get 9 assists and this is a game where he scores 60? Oh, what if this is a game where I need him to give me 35 points but he only gives me 20 because he dished out 20 assists? All these fears go through my head with Luka Doncic because his props are so high and you need so much production from him. And you kind of like talk yourself out of it. But he's propped appropriately because he is a superstar, and superstars hit big numbers. So if this was propped at 90 PRA or 90 points and assists, obviously that's stupid high. But this is well within his range, as are his points. His assist, which look very bad, but this is a little low for me, and I think they're going to bump it throughout the day. So if you like that, maybe lock it in. So I look at his numbers, look at his fantasy score. 58.5. He got hurt against Phoenix. Take that out. That should even be in here, Prize Picks. 68, 58, 72. Man. So yes, the numbers are high for Luka. Get over the fear of whether or not he can do it. You can say that for anybody on the Prize Picks board. You can say that for any prop. 34.5 points for Luka is the same as 9.5 points for Aaron Nesmith. These props are based off the talent level of this player. Just because a prop line is low doesn't mean it is achievable, attainable, that it's going to get hit. And just because a prop line is higher than everybody else's doesn't mean that it can't be reached. LeBron James is another person I like today. 28.5 against the Indiana Pacers. Talked about that a little bit in the first video. But yes, here's what I like the most. Terry Rozier over 2.5 threes made. Mason Plumlee over his points and assists. Michael Porter Jr. over his first half PRA. Luka over his points and assists. And there you have it. You can throw these in a flex. You can throw them in a power. You can break these up and play them in, two-man slips. Whatever your heart desires. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel and checking this video out. Really appreciate the time you've taken to do so. Do me a favor and drop me a comment below letting me know who your favorite player prop on the board is. Who do you have your eyes on? Who have you locked in? What do your slips look like? Also, let me know what you think about my final look at my core 3 and honorable mention. Do you like them? Hate them? Love them? Do you want to leave them? Either way, leave me a comment below letting me know. I still like to hear from you and hear what's on your mind. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel and just talking some basketball props. Truly appreciate the support. Getting this channel over 1,000 subs. Very, very excited about that. Thank you to each and every one of you for making that happen. And until the next video, tomorrow's early look video, Chavez is out.